Yes, we are live. Let's shut off the music. Yeah. Hey guys, does everybody hear us? If you don't hear us, let us know because we just got put in a new mic. Everybody say hello. Hello. All right. I think they should hear us. Let's check. They're live stream, right? It says it's on.
If you hit live there, go live, it's live streaming.
Yeah. No, it's live. It's 35 seconds in. 8 viewers, 4 thumbs up, 10 viewers. Here we go. Guys, can you hear us? Can you hear us speaking? Because we just installed a new mic. Loud and clear. Perfect. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. And we have more syncretists coming in. Hey guys, say hello. We are live. Come on in, just on time. We're doing a little private presentation. All right, we got our fruits here. And Mr. Bonacci is going to take the mic. And we will commence. Okay.
All right, friends of Syncretism, welcome. And So you got the whole whiteboard, and yep, I'm in the picture, huh? Okay. All right, so welcome and thanks for joining us. Tonight, or today, the 26th of May, is a very, very significant day for two reasons. First of all, the Aztec calendar, and you can go back to a video I made on the 26th of May and the Aztec calendar and see the very wonderful content of that video. I believe I have corrected some information that I released on that day, or I can correct some information. I believe it is the end date of the fifth sun, but not exactly the beginning of the sixth sun. I read an article today where it said that the sixth sun will begin in 2026. So nonetheless, the eclipse of today was very, very significant. It will be something that most humans will feel in one way or another, depending on their evolution, depending on their development in their ascension process, I guess you could call it. And the second reason why this date is so special, the 26th of May, is because of this podcast. We're going to be introducing and announcing weekly podcasts, a society that we've formed here which has hundreds of people all around us, all in their place, ready to go. At this stage volunteering, but eventually these people who you'll be meeting soon that are around us, which will accommodate all of our medicines, healings, teachings. There'll be teachers, great teachers from all around the world. Eventually you'll be meeting these people and seeing that this is going to be significant, what we have here. So what we're going to do today is talk about the 11 tenets that this academy has, which we will be basing our academy on these tenets. These will be the principles and the operations of this school. So we can use that word. It's not such a bad word, but it's not. It's an academy, and it has two branches: healing side, the corpus, and the teaching side, which we call the Elysian Academy. So it's very, very significant this date because along with these podcasts, we're going to open on the 21st of June, the solstice, and we'll have people coming in. And after we do these 11 tenets, we're going to go into the two branches and explain what the healing side has on offer in terms of protocols and modalities and models. For instance, obviously, we will not have any bad models, like allopathy, bad model, chemotherapy, bad method. We will have corrected that. We'll go back to the ancient ways, which was natural, naturopathy, and homeopathy. Therefore, we will be using, on this side, essential oils, alchemical treatments as well. So we're going to go into that more, and then on the teaching side, what will be offered in terms of the logic and the physics side of the school, and ethics as well. The three pillars of philosophy: ethics, logic, and physics. And our academy will be based on three axiom, on an axiom which is a trinity, which is diligence, devotion, discipline, the 3 Ds. Now, so I'll get straight into it. First and foremostly, one of the tenets of the Syncretism Society Academy will be the geocentric stationary Earth, original ancient model. We're not into the New World Order and the New Age. The New World Order is based on the globe and the global agenda, global economy, global warming, global governance, global religion, global community, etc., etc. So this is, I've deliberately made sure that I have my say in having this as first and foremost, because the greatest of all the lies that have been perpetrated on humanity comes from the Copernican revolution and the teaching that we live on a globe and we're moving. Astrologers and all of our ancestors will be laughing and rolling in their graves. So this is very important to me. This is the true model. Once you have the true model, then you begin to understand how the world really works. A horizon. It is a horizon, a theatre, a stage. So this is very, very important. Tenet number 2, permaculture. Good model, great methods. As opposed to agriculture, bad model, bad methods. These days they're putting glyphosate for their big industrial productions. They are only using 3 minerals: phosphate, nitrogen, and potassium, and everything's depleted. You know, these beautiful grapes here, there's probably only 1/100th of the minerals that they used to have 50 years ago before agriculture came along. So you can see what we're doing already. We're going back to old models because they've always been, for millions and millions of years, they've been steadfast. We've never, ever, ever been able to displace those models. The stationary flat earth has been around forever and no one's going to boot it out. Permaculture has been around forever and no one's going to make deserts with agriculture anymore after humanity awakens. This will be the correct model. White Tantra. This is something very close to my heart as well. I teach a lot of this, and this will be taught in the school. So this is correct right-hand path sexuality. Sexuality is very important, since it is one of the gifts of the gods through which the ascension process and raising the kundalini the proper way occurs between twins or soulmates or loyal partners to one another. Please do not get this confused with any of the new age Tantra and any of that left-hand path, polyamory, anything to do with that. Please, please, please don't be confused. This is pure White Tantra, which is the godly form, which I suppose one of the great teachers of this would be Samael Aumweor, and in his book, The Perfect Matrimony. Because the perfect matrimony, that's why the marriage has been attacked by the world, because the marriage is very, very sacred between a man and a woman. It is a very, very sacred thing. Together they return to God. You don't return singularly. You actually do eventually have to reunite with your twin soul before you completely sent. So this is very, very important because this is one of the keys. This is one of the tenets. Astrology. This is the science of electromagnetism. Number 3, I should have gone over here, right? So,
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. White Tantra now. Ascension diet.
okay, so homeopathy and naturopathy, right? Good model. Ascension diet. Okay, so ascension diet will be, I don't like to use the word vegan. I've used it a lot, and I still use it, but I don't like to use it. But I will use it because it helps me to put across to other people that virtually carnivore animal diet is what I don't do. But I've never been a strict vegan. I've always had honey, and if I know there's cheese which is available, which is from that cow over there, which was loved and hasn't been sprayed or injected or anything like that. Grass-fed, exactly. Nature, there's nothing wrong with those eating from the animals. Rather, we are teaching here that we're not going to be, one tenet is that we are not going to exploit animals. Basically, there's an ethic as well behind it. But I really do feel that most advanced people now are really trying to get their energy more from the breath, from breathing correctly and being breatharian and you know, even not having to worry with you know, delicious fruit like this. There's ways of doing it, you know. If we really believe in ourselves, we can be breatharian. Tom Elamin, he's been doing it for 20 years. He's a trustworthy man, you can tell. And he's been at it, and they do it in India, and they live forever. You know, they don't die. They just live on their breath. They don't need to eat, they don't need to drink. It's just incredible. So the Ascension diet, this is going to be for me to go right into that, it's a little bit complicated because we're going to be catering on the health side of the academy. We're going to be catering to people who perhaps are eating flesh. They're welcome to come and get Tesla coil treatments. We'll talk about that in a minute, and they're welcome. On the Elysium teaching side, of course, only people who are practicing the Ascension diet will be able to enroll. But that's easy because most syncretists are plant-based, and you know, they follow a similar diet. Astrology, it's the only way to understand electromagnetics. It's an electromagnetic universe. This is the model. It's as much as they've tried to destroy the astrology in society and poo-poo it as a pseudoscience and it's from the devil and blah, 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 it has never, ever been able to be eradicated because it cannot be, because it's part of nature. Astrology is the only way to explain waves, sinusoidal waves. It's the only way. It's the only map or schematic of electromagnetics that is comprehensive and exhaustive that exists. Astrology, the mother of all sciences. So this one's tenet. The 7th is astrotheology. So we are going to be teaching how all of our theologies, all of our gods, they are stars. We are stardust as well. We come down here, we are called youngsters. We have sisters who become spinsters. We have misters who become masters. Some monsters, some mobsters, gangsters, fraudsters, tricksters, jesters, superstars, rock stars, movie stars, imposters, disasters, ministers and pastors. But we all have ancestors. So, astrotheology, sorry to say all you Baptist preachers and Jehovah's Witnesses, All of our theology comes from the stars. Jupiter, Zeus, Jesus is just that. Jupiter, a star, a wandering star. King of kings, God of gods. So astrotheology is it's a fundamental tenet of syncretism and the academy. This is the physical side now. So we're looking at the body. And Danny's going to be talking extensively on this and all the protocols we will be using as we go into part 2 of this live, which is splitting up the academy and explaining the two workings and machinations of how they will work. So yoga, meditation, exercise. Daily we're going to be on the beach here in Puerto Morelos. So daily at 8 o'clock we're on the beach. No shoes, as little clothing as possible. We do a 2-mile march in the water, on the sand. We come back, we do our stretching yoga, we do 5 Tibetan rites, and then we do 20 minutes of swimming in the ocean, and we always drink the ocean water. We have lots and lots of ocean water. All right, Danny will be talking about that in a minute. But we'll go into more detail, but this is one of the tenets: physical, looking after the body, how to do yoga and stretching, and how to be youthful and use the body correctly. All of this, we have hundreds of people around us. We've got some of the greatest yoga instructors in the world. We've got great teachers of meditation, sound healing. In fact, Javier is here. He does sound healing, and he's going to be also having Skyo technology, which I'm very familiar with. He's going to do a demonstration in a minute. So that's the sort of guys that we've got that we'll be doing on the meditation side. On the exercise side, obviously there will be resistance training and things like that, and that's to keep healthy. A body in motion is a healthy body. Magnetic healing and the teaching of magnetism. The school, one of the tenets of the school must be the universe as a magnetic universe, not electrical, although it is, the physical part of it is. The source of all things is magnetic, the radiation wave. So this is very, very important and not to be underestimated, magnetism. You are going to be learning here in this school things about magnetism you will not learn ever in any other place nor book. That I promise. Sovereignty, self-determination. So this will be very important as well. The man and the woman must be a high priestess or a priest, and a queen or a king. And this is our mission, to become priests and kings with Christ for 1,000 years, which means that we will have both our Boaz and Jachin pillars ascending at the same time, and we're not too, unbalanced on either side. Ethics and etiquette. So ethics is one of the pillars of philosophy, the high pillars of philosophy, and so this is also a tenet of the academy. So people will understand how the ancients really had correct action. I would call it correct action as the Neoplatonists called it. There is such a thing. These days, I would say the institutions, churches and schools alike and universities have been promoting an agenda which is very, very unnatural. Sexual agendas, and all kinds of other agendas. You know, we're going to show that these are new. These are very, very new and demonic things. We totally shun this, and promiscuity and the left-hand path and polyamory and all of this behaviour. So things like that are crucial. Correct action. so that we can do unto others as we wish for others to do unto ourselves. So I'm going to finish off there. We're going to wipe this board.
Yeah, we're going to wipe it, and then we're going to move on to the second part of the presentation. While everything's getting put up, we're going to show how the Sky machine works.
Okay.
From beginning to end, and what all our alumni are going to go through. In the very, very beginning, through the Sky machine, you will be able to figure out all your deficiencies, and from then on, we will be able to set your protocol going forward. We know what you're deficient in, so we know what you're going to need.
Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned this, because there are two ways primarily. There is a third way, but we have two ways in which each individual that comes to the academy physically will be assessed as to what protocols they're going to use with them, and they will avail themselves of. Firstly, I will be reading everyone's astrological chart, so I will be looking for certain deficiencies and certain herbs that you might want to stay away from. I'll be able to do all that medical astrology, so we'll do an astrological assessment on each individual, and we will do a technological assessment as well, and we're going to now demonstrate the Skyo technology, which you will also have this assessment done and based on the results. Now, why I love the Skyo machine, folks, is because 2 years ago when I was in Australia still, I accepted to have one of these tests done on me. And at the end, after 2 hours of being on this machine, I could see on the computer screen the results. And one of the things that it told me I was deficient in was my 3 tissue salts, potassium phosphate for Aries, sodium sulfate for Taurus, and potassium chloride for Gemini, and it also added my Pisces moon sign, iron phosphate. And this machine right here, the Skyo machine, technology, there is the application on the screen. This machine picked up what George Carey did 100 years ago in his book, The Salts of Salvation, explaining that if you have a 9-month gestation, then you are deficient in 3 tissue salts, because these Schussler tissue salts, invented by Schussler by examining the cremated remains of animals and humans, he found that all of the ashes of the cremated remains of the animals consisted of these 12 salts. 100 years later, George Carey comes along and he started administering to all his patients 3 of the tissue salts according to their astrology. In my case, being Arian, I'm deficient in Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. And this machine picked that up 2 years ago. I nearly fell out of the chair when the lady... I said, you're not kidding me, man. I mean, I'm teaching this, I'm diagnosing this with astrology, and this machine tells me the same thing. George Carey would be just laughing in his coffin, in his grave.
Javier is the Skyo technician. He's able to determine exactly what every person is deficient in, and he's going to plug Luigi in right here. If you can move in a little closer.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Javier, tell us a little bit here. Let's plug this onto you.
Yes.
Okay. And let's tell him a little bit exactly about the inner workings of the machine, it's an internal mechanism of what it does.
Okay. This technique is called biofeedback because there is an intercommunication between the person and the machine, and even if he don't talk at all, the machine is knowing everything is happening in here. It's scanning all the bodies of the person.
So this is scanning. So he's got 2. What are these called? Anodes?
It's harnesses. These harnesses,
Harnesses.
yes, measure the electromagnetic energy through the skin. Okay, and the head is because this is not only a diagnosis.
Yeah.
There is also a treatment,
Yeah.
and we are going to send frequencies to the brain and to the lobe front of the brain, and all the blocks or the imbalances that we're going to find on the person, we're going to help him to balance. all of this, okay? So the first step is the calibration that is called, that is when the intercommunication starts. And after that, we're going to do a main test to know how are you, okay? We are processing now this step, and if you want, in a minute, we can go on seeing the results.
Okay, so part 2 of this is then on the computer screen you get a, what's that called, a report. It gives it tells you everything, what minerals he's deficient in, if he's got kidney failure,
Exactly.
poor kidney, if he's got bad chi energy,
Exactly.
if he's deficient in tissue salts.
Yeah, in every mood, you imagine
everything. About the body, everything. It scans
Yes.
the body electromagnetically, and then it gives you a feedback. It tells you exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Because the main test consists in ascending of more or less 13,000 substances that we already have in our body, and see how we react of them. So if for example, Luigi overreacts to any substance, it means that he has an imbalance in this substance.
Yeah.
Okay, it's reacting of this. But if he doesn't react at all, it's other kind of imbalance. It's a chronic one, because we adapt to every pain or every disease, and it's a moment when you don't feel at all. But it doesn't are healthy. Okay, so we can see also acute imbalances on chronic imbalances. And as we are working in a quantic level, we can even prevent disease that in a physical way doesn't feel at all.
Okay.
Okay?
And then you will send a frequency and
Yeah.
heal those deficiencies. That's what happened to me.
We're going to help the
Yeah.
body of
Yeah.
Luigi now
Yeah.
to
Stimulate it.
yeah, because you know that we heal ourselves, but if we have a help, it's better. So that's the machine. What does the machine?
The machine does that. Yes.
Yeah,
So there's-
help.
Yes.
Remember the brain remember how it works our body.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's all the frequencies what they do. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Beautiful. Yeah. So it's
Great.
it's great because it reads the body, and as I do when I read a chart, you can see clearly which organs are.
Yeah, we can
strong,
see
which ones are
organs,
weak.
we can see cells,
Yeah.
we can see the organism, we
Yeah.
can see the emotions, we can see
Right.
the thoughts, we can see the connection, the spiritual connection too. And so we can work in every part of Luigi in that case.
Yep.
Okay?
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, well, let's. I was going to say right now would be a good time to talk about why you and I are wearing these patches and why we are going to.
Do you remember
also
your
with
hour
with
of
a
date?
health protocol. I mean, it's a good.
If you don't
Freudian
remember,
slip.
it's okay.
With a health
10?
protocol which we are going to share with you and we're going to share with
9:30
everyone.
in the morning or in the night?
This is
9:30.
also an opportunity for wealth creation, guys. We've joined we've actually, with no shame at all, because we need to provide for ourselves and pay rent for our homes and everything. We have made from a great discovery of this beautiful LifeWave technology
Yeah, I mean-
for healing, and it's also a business. And so we're going to be.
I just
well-
want to say one thing. I want to say that there is no way that the society, Santos and I, would ever back something that we didn't believe in. So off the bat, let's just get that out the way. We wholeheartedly believe in this product. Why? Because it works. I feel the results of it. I would never allow myself to be standing here telling you guys about a particular product if it didn't work. All right. So let me go ahead and so we purchased the diamond package of LifeWave, and Santos, we posted up a couple of things already about what the technology is behind these patches. Santos has a couple of things up already on Instagram. You guys should check it out. But what they basically do, what it basically is a biohack. It hacks the body. And as you can see, I'm always wearing mine. This
Turn
one,
around.
yeah. This one right here is the X39. And that's really the one that I want to talk about.
I think you can see
Yeah.
mine.
I'll show 'em. Right there. And right here, yeah.
Okay.
So the one that I really want to talk about is the X39. The X39 patch is stem cell development. It creates stem cells in the body and generates them at a rate that your body cannot. So through the light that resonates in your body, it bounces it off the copper peptides through this patented technology. It looks like this little sticker, but it's not. This technology is patented. It has double-blind studies that it's worked through, and it's all proven to do the same exact thing. Now, when we purchased this package, we also received other patches. Now, there's one called glutathione, for example. This raises your glutathione in your body by 300% in one day, in one single day. This is already recorded, double-blind studies. I mean, the energy enhancer is the one that got me.
That's the one that got me too.
Yeah. This one, guys. This one is this energy enhancer. I couldn't believe what happened to me. So I'll actually even do it if you could hold this. So how this works, right? I'll show you guys. The energy enhancer is probably the only one, and the ice wave that you need 2 patches. All right. One, the white is always on right, and the gray one or the brown one is on your left side. So how it works is you put it about 1 inch above the nipple, just like that. All right, and I'm doing it right now in front of you guys. All right. When I put these on, you put them on about an hour before you go for your workout. I'm telling you guys, I ran like I never ran before. I did usually I do anywhere from 100 to 120, 130 push-ups every day. I must have did close to 200 without breaking a sweat. So it works, right? And I said, wow, if this works, the others have to work as well. So the X39 is the one that we really want to get out there, because within 30 days, well, first of all, people get changes. Some people get changes within weeks. Some people get changes within days. For people that are fairly healthy, it might take you a little bit of time to feel something, right? Because you're already feeling good. But within 90 days, you should see real magic happening. So I don't want to go too much into the other patches. I really want to stick to the X39 patch and LifeWave. You could either become a customer of LifeWave, or you could become a distributor yourself, right? And there's a whole payment system that they have for you. And we have Anne-Marie, our administrator, right there, who's going to run you through everything and how to get on the website and how to make your purchase and how to become a distributor. We're going to have a lot of these videos coming out on our Instagram, on our podcast, and you'll be able to check all of it out.
Yep, and there'll be a link on my website, Universal Truth School, for all of that, guys. So, all right, let's continue on. So we got another few minutes till we finish that up. So yeah. Okay.
Let's talk to Luigi and let's see.
What's going on? All right. What's happening?
We're cleaning the place because the system prepare of the zone to not have interferences. Okay. So the first thing is the cleaning the place after the calibration that is I told you before, and after the main test. It's soon because it's preparing on the zone, right. And that's why we are waiting a little more. Okay.
Right.
But it's working now. Now we can see the results for Luigi.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So each individual will be getting this when they first come in. So
with the astrological reading as well to find out your deficiencies. So you'll be able to get your reading as well as Javier's.
And it's going to be interesting because we might even record what results we get between each other on their astrology and the cell salts. So
yeah.
Always make sure that the cell salts are checked, right?
It's possible,
right,
yes.
so we'll do a comparison.
Yes, there is on screen that is called medical astrology that we can see. It depends on the date of birth.
Yeah.
How the body of Luigi is propense to. Yeah. So we can know a lot of information because, for example, if you have a sun disease or sun condition, maybe it's because in your date of birth you are aware to that, but it's different to the RNC, for example. Mm-hmm. But I think in the epigenetics, for example, it works, and you can develop a disease from your parents, but not for sure. So of course you can work on this. You can work on your mind to change all your DNA. So now the calibration is done. Now we have this communication with the Luigi and the system. And now we're going to prepare the power of the system. Now adjusting the power. And for example, give me a moment.
From all sides. Look at this.
Luigi Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Right? On your ankles.
Sorry, but there was a glitch in his program. We've actually removed your brain. We'll get it back. Just hang on. We have to reboot the computer.
And the good thing is that the patient or the person who are working with the system has to do nothing. She has to relax only, and it's very common to feel asleep a little because you release a lot of stress, and the brain waves stabilize. So it's very comfortable to receive that.
So do you remember your name? What is it?
Luigi.
Good.
For example, now this is screen that is called Body Viewer. I can say to the system to ask the unconscious of Luigi what he needs, and in this case he needs exercise, for example, and we can see different parts of the body. For example, I don't know if you have any pain or any trouble with your upper limbs or something like that, but your body are asking frequencies for this. It's not because you have a problem for sure, it's because maybe you need to be in balance, okay? For example, the chakras, that is, you can align chakras too. Now the unconscious of Luigi is telling the machine what he needs, okay?
Yeah.
And after this process, that is, I led it till the end, I can use these menus to send frequencies of a part specific that I want. For example, if you have, I don't know, an injury in your knee, I can work in the knee, in the muscles, exactly. I can see this, the knee or the hip or the lungs and the kidneys, every sense, you know. We can work in every part of your body that you need, okay? That is one screen. Other one is called disease lexicon. This is like a disease dictionary. We have here about 600 diseases and conditions, and we can push it. For example, if you have a flu, for example, we can go to the flu and send frequency for this, and it's very specific. Meanwhile, we are working in the main program. We are working this in a simultaneous program. So we can work in a single session a lot of different things. That is why for example, I took 2 hours for a therapy, because I work in an integral way to the patient to be a change, a significant change in the end of the therapy.
Nice. Good. And then, do you think the people that come to the retreats, do you think they then need another second round to improve? You know, you put the healing frequencies back in?
Yes, of course.
Second round, right?
Yeah, it's good. Even when you start to receive the frequencies, all the frequencies are completely non-invasive at all. So there is not secondary effects or side effects or something like that. We can use it even for example, professional sportsmen, to improve to develop the muscles or to develop strength or something like that. For example, Novak Djokovic, the famous tennis player, uses this machine before his competition. So it's very good for everyone.
And what does he do? How does he use it? To build muscle? Or?
Yeah, to build muscle, to improve their capability to not be tired between the matches, for example, or something like that. It's very used for professional sports.
Well, you know, that's amazing because you know how many professional people use LifeWave as well. I just discovered this, and this is beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of successful sports people, they just don't do anything without their patches.
Yeah, it's very
I
useful.
I wear the patches every day,
Right.
religiously. All right, Javier, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
So we got all that. That's one of the diagnosis, or one of the ways of checking people's condition and how we can use the correct protocols, astrology and the Skyo technology. Now Daniel will be speaking about the corpus branch of the academy.
Hello, everyone. Probably gonna put this right here. All right. So, as Santos said, we have two divisions within the academy. Corporis, just for everybody to know, corporis in Latin means body. That's all it is, just for everybody to know. All right. So, the Skyo machine, you guys just took a look at what it does. I mean, it's amazing stuff. This is really what's going to determine how we set your protocol, your healing protocol going forward, right? But I wanted to talk about the morning routine and what you're going to get every single morning. No matter how sick you are, no matter what you're going through, I always say this, that we will absolutely force you to be out getting sun, right? People confuse that sunlight is for some reason or another a vitamin. The sunlight is not a vitamin. Sun rays don't produce any type of vitamins. What they do is they are a hormone. Sunlight is a hormone and it controls, so hormone D is not, vitamin D is not vitamin D. It is the hormone D. And it actually controls 8% of your whole genome. So no matter how much magnesium, no matter how much phosphorus, no matter how much potassium you're taking and supplementing, right? If you don't have this hormone right here, it's not going to disperse it in the right body. So that's why in Alaska, we have an 8 times higher rate of suicide. Why? Because there's no sunlight. The higher north you go, the higher the suicide rate gets. The less sunlight there is, the sicker the people are. That's why people catching this COVID flu, right? And that's all it is just another flu, right? Are susceptible for it. Why? Because they're vitamin D deficient. And I'll tell you another thing. I just got my blood test back. The doctor ran out and told me, hey, you need to stop supplementing immediately. And I said, you know I haven't supplemented anything since I was a child. He said, your vitamin D levels are almost in toxic levels. And I said, how is that possible? That's impossible. Because it couldn't even register my vitamin D levels. My vitamin D levels were so high. And I don't know if you guys can see, but this is my real color. All right, this is how much sunlight I get. All right, and it's not the sunlight that you get at 2 o'clock or at 1 o'clock p.m. It's harsh. So we like to get out in the early morning sun. That's the most healing. And then if you want, you could also get sunlight after 4 p.m. So hormone D is absolutely mandatory, right? Earthing, which is being grounded. Being barefoot is very important. I mean, it's just proven studies already. It shows that it stimulates your kidneys, excuse me, your pancreas, your gallbladder. Neurons in your body go off, synapses in your body go off at a faster rate. Just like some of these other things that we do, it creates new connections within the body, right? Earthing is super important. So cardiovascular exercise, it's an absolute must. We need to have your blood pumping properly throughout the body. So you need to be out there, you need to be doing walks. So if you're really sick, right, obviously you're not going to be out there jogging, but you will be walking, right? You have to walk. You have to stimulate your cardiovascular system for the body to properly work. Swimming is an absolute must. That water is, I consider it to be God's blood. Really, guys. Every time I get into that water, I come out completely new, completely renewed. Every single time. Santos could tell you, no matter how groggy you feel in the morning, if you jump in that water for 15 minutes, you come out completely new, absolutely different person. Not only that, but it is God's blood, and I'll tell you why. The composition of seawater is the exact same as blood. Did you guys know that? It's the exact same chemical composition. Everything is, the only difference is what? The color. That's it. So it's very important to be in that water. Meditation on the beach. There's different forms of meditation, but we have private instructors that will teach you how to properly meditate. It's difficult to get into a position, cross your legs, and hold your fingers up and start to meditate. Your mind wanders. There's proper ways of doing it. We have private yoga instructors as well, right? Physical trainers that are going to be doing the calisthenics with you. Resistance training. These are all things that are mandatory. You have to do these things if you want to develop a proper body. Because without body, you don't have mind. And I'm going to keep saying that over and over and over again. If you're worried about the body, if you're worried about your arthritis, if you're worried about your gastro problems, your autoimmune issues, right? How can you possibly concentrate on any form of ascension? You're not worried about, reading up on what's right and what's wrong, what's moral, what's ethical. You don't care. All those stuff go out the window. You just want to feel good. So this is the path that you first need to take. You first need to make sure that the body is in its proper place, right? Breath work is super important. There's a 7-minute exercise that I'll show you with breath work. And not me, I've been shown this. I didn't make this stuff up. I mean, the things that it does to your body. The amount of oxygen is healing in of itself. So if you get proper oxygen and you spread it out properly throughout the body, that helps supremely. Temescal, guys, I can't stress enough how important the mind sweat lodges are. I'm going to run through these fast because I don't want to bore you guys too much. But the Temescal is super healing. It's a mind sweat lodge. So there's already proven data to show that when the body's temperature goes up, it creates all sorts of healing modalities within it. Everything from synapses going off at 4 times its normal rate. You detox the whole body. The largest organ in your body, if you guys know. Do you guys know what the largest organ in your body is? It's your skin. Yeah, exactly. So all the gunk comes out of you. You should see me and Santos coming out of it and everybody else. We're literally scratching this gunk off. Sometimes these fingernails full of it, right? And it's temescals. And the temescals are not only good for your health, but they're also good for the soul. Because we have these wonderful, beautiful chants that Anne-Marie performs within the temescal. It's super, super healing. And then after all this, you will have your breakfast/lunch. People always think about food. Food is not as important as the lack of it is, right? Not eating is probably the best way to heal the body. People tend to think that if I eat this, that, and the third, better. I feel the best when I'm fasting. So in the academy, we make sure to have a mandatory 7-day-a-week fast, and I'll get to that, which is 16/8. 16 hours of rest for the gut and 8 hours of eating. Breakfast is obviously made by private chefs. All our chefs are actually tested. Their bloods are tested, right? It's the only people in the academy that wear a mask. Nobody else is allowed to wear a mask except the chefs because there's other sanitary reasons why we do that, right? We check them for hepatitis. They're checked for all sorts of viruses, and they're made sure that they're very clean and sanitary. In the early afternoon, right, we get to the real, I'm not going to say the super healing aspect because everything here is healing, but these are the things that the body cannot, these are the big helpers of the body's healing, right? So things like the D'Arsonval coil, right? This negative energy coil that harnesses the ether from the earth and it delivers it through the body. Just like we just showed the Skyo machine being worked on, Luigi, we're going to show you guys how this D'Arsonval coil works. We purchased one. We're going to have 2 within the academy. This is a big life changer. This, if you do all of these things, plus getting onto this coil and these other things that we're talking about, these other protocols, you could cure anything. You could cure basically anything. I don't like to use that word cure, but I want to give security out there to people that within a month, you will feel 70 to 80% better, right? So D'Arsonval negative energy coil, we have to go into much more detail about that, Santos. Yeah. That's something that needs to be explained thoroughly because it's so important. That's why you see it on the top of the list. Ozone generators. Ozone generators are amazing. They seal up, if you have leaky gut, which is called intestinal permeability, within the large intestine, it'll seal that up within a few months, actually. Not only that, it cleanses out all the parasites within the colon. So through rectal insufflation. I know you guys don't like to hear that, but yes, ozone is a gas, right? And you hold it in this pouch, and you push on this bag, this plastic bag, that's inserted within a small tube that goes up into your rectum, and this gas travels up your descending colon, down side your transverse colon, and then down your ascending colon, all the way to your ileocecal valve. So I did this protocol for about 60 days, and when I tell you, me, I had parasites coming out this big that were attached to my fecal matter. This big. My parents couldn't believe it. They didn't understand what was going on. They kept asking me, were you eating asparagus? Were you eating spaghetti? And I was, no, I don't eat spaghetti. And even if I did, that's not how it would come out, right? it would dissolve within the body's digestion. So it's very important that we do an ozone generator and drink ozonated water. And all these machines, all the machines that we're talking about, we have within the academy. This is where all our funding is going. That's why we have this GoFundMe, guys. You have to support us. If you want to see this come to fruition faster, you have to go to our GoFundMe, and we're going to link that also. Please do what you can to support the academy. Now, pharmaceutical parasite cleaners, right? Parasite cleanse. We believe in them, even though we don't believe in the pharmaceutical market as a whole, but there are proven studies that prove that ivermectin works. Praziquantel works, valbazin works. These fenbenzidol works. These things work. Yes, they kill.
Saved my life, man.
Yeah, of course, yeah. These things work. You will do them. You will have to, because parasites, they're taking so much of your energy. They take, not only that, after they eat the first comings of your food, so you don't even get the first nutrients of the food, they do. And on top of everything, they poop in you. So you're getting the worst of the worst out of them. They do nothing positive for you. Yes, I've heard them say, oh, some parasites are supposed to be within the body. I think that's all nonsense. I don't believe in that at all. I think that anything foreign, the only thing that's supposed to exist within the body is microflora, the gut's microbiome. That, yes, they are. But these long tapeworms, roundworms that were coming out of me for 60 days, guys. For 60 days, every day they were coming out, nonstop. Some of them smaller, obviously, some of them longer. I seen threaded heads on these parasites. Yes. Everybody has them. You all have them. Don't think you don't. All of you have it, but you have to get them out. Just like cattle go on special protocols for cleansing out parasites, right? You worm your dog, right? You worm all animals. Why are we any different? We have to be wormed, and my infectious disease doctor, which is I'm from New York City, right? He's the head infectious disease doctor in New York University, in NYU. Oh. We thought we got bumped off there. So we were on the saunas. The infrared saunas are very similar to that of the Temescal, only they have other properties when they're infrared, and I'll go into more detail on that. So things like peyote, things like San Pedro. There are very healing protocols that we also do. Sphygerics, right? So one, ayahuasca, that people tend to believe in a lot. I think personally it's super healing, and it's very dependent on the person, okay? So we do offer these sphygerics, right? But you would have to see, it's on a case-by-case basis. Some people tell me that they're amazing, we're live, that they're amazing results. Some people didn't see any results at all. So guys, when you come over here and we get you on the Skyo machine and you get to talk to a few people, we have beautiful Sarah coming. Okay, tissue salts. I cannot stress enough how important these tissue salts are. So the Skyo machine will tell you what you're missing in. Santos will tell you through his readings what you're missing in, and these tissue salts that you're able to purchase, what you're lacking and deficient in, will fill them up, right? These deficiencies. Super important. Essential oils in the morning, super important as well. You have to find the right one. Guys, there's a lot. We have Ormus. Ormus is amazing, right? It's made from seawater. There's so many minerals in it. I could go into detail forever about them, but there's just too much. Sound therapy. We have a sound. First of all, sound is very healing itself. If you control frequencies properly and you're able to get the proper vibration, sound therapy is on a completely different level. And by the way, I personally have tried some sound therapy with a gentleman called Elijah Markins is his last name, and he told me that he has an incredible change within just a few weeks. And when I tried it, it was also pretty amazing. I didn't feel the same type of changes, but I felt something. So sound therapy is something we're going to be working on. The body therapy, right? We have amazing masseurs. These
Chiropractors.
Oh yeah, of course, and chiropractors. They're going to adjust you. The biomechanical physics of your body, right? The biomechanical movements of your body are always offset and always off-placed. It's just, that's how it's always going to be. You need to reposition and align everything. So your chakras are aligned and everything is flowing. This energetic force that's within the body needs to flow properly, but only when you physically are able to align it. So it's done through massage and it's done through, I don't want to say chiropractics, but it's called osteopathy, right? And it's a warmer way of doing it. Chiropractics is very aggressive and sometimes people get hurt, but osteopathy, which is done in a little bit of a lighter touch, helps immensely. Santos, he's gotten knots out. He has free range of movement now that he hasn't had in forever, right?
Long time.
Yeah, so these things are just some of the things that we provide. This is just a small portion of it. When you get over here, you'll really understand. Now, moving on to what we do daily in regards to food, right? Intermittent fasting is so important for the body. The 16-8 that we do is 16 hours of rest, right? 70% of the body's energy is taken up by simple digestion. You would think it's simple. It's not simple at all. It's the enzymes are broken up, and the amount of fluids that are released within the body, and all sorts. I mean, it's just so much going on when you're digesting. So when you give your digestion a break, you allow for the body to go into healing mode. That's why an animal. What happens to an animal when they get hurt? The first thing an animal does is, because it's self-wise, right? It was given, this information was given to him by God. It goes into a corner and it huddles up and it stops what? Drinking and eating. That's the first thing it does, because it understands that it needs that energy to heal the body. I mean, we don't do that. I don't know why, but it's because, I guess, for other reasons. Well, I'll go into a little later. Weekly fast. So one day out of the week, and we'll go into more detail about which day that is. Santos will explain that to you. That depends on the moon cycle. But one day out of the week, we go on a full 24-hour fast. Matter of fact, I've seen the best results out of this. These one day a week fasts have really turned my body around. You feel the amount of energy that you have that day and the day after is just amazing. As soon as I put food into my body, everything goes and slows down. So that's just how it is, guys. I mean, it would be best not to eat at all. I wish we didn't have bowel movements, period. And then we also have a monthly fast. We have an extended water fast. Matter of fact, if you point to that beautiful young lady right there in the white, she just came out of not just now, but it was fairly recent, right?
Yeah,
You just came.
2 weeks ago, I did a 51-day.
Yeah, she did a 51-day. How many out of those days was water?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, right? So she went 21 days on water, and she's fine. Beautiful. So anybody out there who thinks that you're gonna die if you don't eat, you're absolutely wrong. Nothing will happen to you. You will just be healthier. She ended up just losing weight and feeling better, and she's healing other things that we're gonna be helping her with as well. Guys, I don't want to take up too.
You can talk about that machine you got in the corner over there.
Yeah, sure.
Really quickly,
Yeah,
also when I was fasting, like my dreams were so vivid.
The dreams, right?
Yeah. So when I was fasting, first of all, it was difficult because people were eating around me. But you go into this like self-mastery, and the clarity is just, it's spiritual, and everything just drops away, you know, and it's just like, and you get so focused, and my dreams were so vivid, and I remembered them, and that's just beautiful. So you become aware of your astral body, and then your etherical, and then you realise how expansive life is, and it's beautiful. Thank you.
I reckon it's the best diet out there is the fasting diet. That's what I reckon. It's the top. I feel great when I'm fasting. Just so good. And just knowing that I don't have to depend on food for the day just really liberates my mind.
So you just wanted to show this machine real quick.
Yep.
But this is just an advanced ultrasound machine. So this is to remove scar tissue. I might as well just show it, right? This is to remove scar tissue. So if you ever have any injuries anywhere, right? So me, I hyperextended my elbow, right? So I went and I got PRP done to it, and it helped. But the doctor told me, he said, you have scar tissue that's growing there. So this, quickly, right, I just told him about advanced ultrasound therapy machine, right? It breaks up all the scar tissue and allows for the body to regenerate properly. So, see, we know these things, right? Some people are struggling with all sorts of issues. They don't know what to do about it. That's why if you come join our academy, we will be able to show you exactly what to do. Within 3 months, you will be an absolutely new person, and you will go home with all of this knowledge. I mean, you guys don't know how lucky you are to be viewing this, because it took us years and years and years to figure this stuff out, right? So please, hop on our GoFundMe and support the Academy, support Syncretism. This is the last option that's out there for showing truth. Everybody else is gonna lie to you. We've ran through it, we've seen it. People have negative intent behind what they're selling, what they're proposing. We have none of that, right? We're not in it for anything but truth. All right, so I think that we could move on to the Lyceum branch, and let's chat with some of these beautiful people while Anne-Marie gets the whiteboard set up. Let me just put this down.
So you're still running on this program? Luigi's still going?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead. And how long? So it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, right?
2 hours is good.
2 hours.
Yeah, just not to saturate the body, because I think 2 hours is a good time, because everybody has to assimilate the frequencies, even if it's not invasive. You have to assimilate. And now we are working because he told me that he has problems with the mind. He thinks a lot. So
Thoughts,
yeah,
a lot of thoughts, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And with your sinus, and we are sending frequencies to him. Let's see what happens after finish this treatment, and we can see, if you want, the chakras of Luigi.
Oh, let's have a look. Hang on.
Let's see how it is. In that case, we have a program. Now it's scanning all the body, and we're going to see how is the chakras of Luigi, and after we can align them, and we can open it, and it helps a lot if you meditate, I suppose to.
Yes.
So we can see here we can make an aura cleansing. And before I show him how is the aura of Luigi. We did a cleansing before, and now this is the chakras. This is focus that we need to remove, but we can see now. This is the base chakra, the first one, the second, the third, the fourth. They are almost aligned, if you can see that, and we are going to work on this to be open, more open than this. Okay?
Is that the solar plexus?
What?
Solar plexus. Plexus solar.
Yes, this
Yeah?
one,
So
the yellow
there's
one.
more power there.
Yeah, the
Okay.
yellow one, and this is the
heart
corona. Yeah, the seventh.
Okay. You're gonna send frequencies to open
Yeah,
those
exactly.
up.
And we're going to see the difference now. Okay.
Wow, they're really close.
This is. We are going to remove this. These are all interferences of the chakras. This is very, very fast. One more time.
Santos, while we're waiting, we're going to be taking questions. We're going to give them a hotline number they could call up,
All right.
and we're going to be taking questions after.
Okay.
So we're going to pick which ones,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to relay them over to you.
Nice. All right. So questions coming up, guys. If you want to ask some questions
Yes,
about
of
what we've
course.
presented so far.
Wherever they need. No, there's no problem. The sixth chakra is what I am seeing that is very close, but now we are going to do the correction, and we're going to see the change of this, and we can see now here some emotions that are affecting all these energetic centers. Okay, for example, passivity, dominant. It means that is an imbalance of these emotions that are affecting you in that base. Okay. Now we can see the difference. Now the sevens are very aligned and very open.
Oh, nice.
Frustration and impulsive. I don't know if it sounds to you this kind of emotions.
Frustration, yeah.
Yeah. You need to release the frustration, okay? These frequencies help, but it's good for you to be conscious of this,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah. So passivity, frustration.
Passivity, dominant, frustration, and let me see, impulsive, okay? You are impulsive?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, you. See?
And that's all. We can see the chakras here. It's better.
We now know that you are not the Messiah. You're a very naughty boy.
And we can go on with another part of the body only.
Excellent. So that was just the transcendental part. And then you can go to all the organs, the mineral
Yeah.
deficiencies. Wow.
Yeah, you know
That's why
that
it takes so many
it's
hours.
all interconnected. So
So you're still going, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get back to you then, huh?
okay.
All right. Let's get over here, and we're gonna do the Elysium. Okay. So.
I think the viewers also want to know what Elysium means, just like explain what corpus means.
The Elysium Fields,
History about it.
the Champs-Élysées in France, the Elysian Fields. Elysium is basically the what I think Ptolemy called the Empyrean, the dwelling place of the blessed souls with God, with the blessed gods. So the knowledge of the right-hand path and the truth that will set you free is associated with this word in my heart, because that's what we're looking for, the Elysian Fields. To go home and return to our Father's palace in the parable of the lost soul of the prodigal son, or Achilles, who finally returns after 10 years of battling in Troy, and Ulysses, and then finally comes back to Penelope, the higher mind, and he returns, the prodigal son returns, Jesus returns to his father, etc. So this is the branch where you will remember the science of ascension, and you will be partaking of this blessed state. And to bless means to bliss. For all the people who love to correct me about using the word bless, oh Santos, you should know better. That means to make someone be less. No, it doesn't.
No.
It means that they should be blessed. That's what it means, what we know it to mean, and to be blessed. Okay, so here we are going to learn. So what are we going to learn in this branch? Well, we are going to base our knowledge on the Sam Best method. So SAAM BEST. method. Okay, so SAM is syncretism. Related to a lot of things dealing with syncing. Synchronous, to synchronize, to syntonize, to fine-tune, syntonize, to synthesize, to syncretize. So when you synchronize, you do things in time, in harmony. When you syncretize, you harmonize all fields of human knowledge. Simple. So the model, this is the model, the correct model, this is the correct method. This is the correct model here. This is the one and only model that we shall present and learn forever and ever and ever, and it is the only model that has ever existed, and it is perennial. Astrological. Astrology, the only way to understand the electromagnetic world. Etymological, that is an L, that's an A. Sorry about that, guys. Whoops, that's even worse. Etymological. I chose this word rather than, what was the other alternative? Etymological. Never mind. I chose this word because everything is atom. The Egyptians said everything is atom. What they meant to say was that everything is atomic. Quantum physicists agree. The Neoplatonists, the Neo-Pythagoreans, the Hermetists, they all said everything was atoms. So, all is atom. To have the correct model, you have to have these three things. 1, 2, 3. It has to be syncretic. All-inclusive, it can't be exclusive. Judaism is exclusive. If you're a Christian, you go to hell. You're not a Jew. This is the only comprehensive, exhaustive, integrative, holistic system that exists. Syncretism has always been the word for thousands of years to denote this unified field of knowledge that we all have in common, with all races, with all religions. It's just the one same theme, electromagnetism. So this is where magnetism comes in, the mother of all sciences. You cannot understand anything unless you understand astrology. Unless you understand astrology, you will never, ever, ever, ever understand nature. You will never understand the workings of nature. Only through the keys and the eyes of astrology will you understand nature, only. Because it's the science of waves and pulses, electromagnetism. And to know what an atom is a torus field. That is the torus field, that is the plane of inertia, this is the hyperbola, the hourglass in the middle of every donut. This is redshift, radiation, right turning, divergent, centrifugal light. This is blue shift, left turning, convergent, centripetal light. Gravitation, yes, the famous G of the Freemasons, and Ra, radiation. Radiation, gravitation. Thank you, Walter Russell. Redshift, radiation, proton. Left shift, blue shift rather, left turning, gravitation. This is going into counter space, this is coming out of counter space. and every magnet has a plane of inertia. Okay, so this is our solar system model, this is our atom model, this is the model, it's the astrological model. So the method is Bonacci, ecliptic, sine wave, toroidal method. So unless you have this model, you cannot then have the sine wave. Once more, the DNA, the ecliptic. So if you were to take this as the equator, and this to be the Tropic of Cancer, and this the Tropic of Capricorn, on March the 21st at the equinox, you start the ecliptic. That's what the ecliptic is. This is the same thing. The sine wave is the ecliptic of the sun every year. June the 21st coming up in a few weeks, solstice. September 21st, autumnal equinox. December 21st, solstice. And there you have the cross, the Holy Cross, the swastika, the yin and yang, the Ouroboros, the Taurus, and the bull. This is the hyperbola in the middle. Hyperbola gives you the word bowl. To speak in hyperbole. The hyperbola, to thrust. Bowl is ballistic. Bullet. Bold. This is Baal, the god Baal. This is the god Bel, the beautiful bell. This is a bell. So, unless you have this model, the atom, this is an atom, you will not have this method, because you will not derive this method. And if you're simplistic, you will just be thinking in terms of positive and negative. And that's what they want you to think of in this world. They don't want you to understand that every wave is a 12ness. A wave, an electrical transverse wave, cannot express itself in just two simple things. They cannot exist without four poles for a start, and for other conditions in that wave to make that wave work in a phi ratio to perpetrate and manifest reality. It just can't happen. So we have to understand waves as a 12ness. There are 12 conditions along every wave, whether it's a thought wave, an emotion wave, sound, light wave, it matters not. They all start at Aries, they all end at Pisces. How can you miss this? I really don't understand, well I do, the persecution and the inquisitions, but how most intelligent and enlightened people just don't get this, how they cannot see that everything is astrological. It's astounding, it's astounding. It's a sad blight on humanity. And I'm going to make sure everybody knows astrology backwards, inside out, and in reverse. Soon, the world. The science of all sciences. So what you will also be getting there is astrotheology. Theology will be corrected. Krishna is Christ. Christ is Christus. Jesus is Yeshua. Jupiter, Zeus, Jesus. They are all the same gods. Astrotheology, they're all from the stars. Everything is from the stars. So theology is going to be corrected. It's going to put all of these pedophile Baptist and Catholic ministers out of business and in jail for deceiving mankind and making a literal historical Jesus Christ, a vicarious saviour also to boot, so that we do not divinize ourselves. In Italian, They say, there's a very famous expression, chi non si aiuta, Dio non l'aiuta. So he who does not help himself, neither will God help him. He will have no help. You have to help yourself if you want the gods to help you. And they will. They will do. Perseus was given many gifts when he had to fight his war. So was Ulysses. He returned home. His friends didn't. But he asked the gods for gifts. They give. If you knock, it shall be opened. And these are the gifts that we're going to be sharing with people. Self-empowerment, sovereignty. White Tantra, raising the chrism. Raising the chrism is very important. This is the whole biological story that's embedded in the Bible. How you raise the chrism, which is the Krishna consciousness. You raise the cerebrospinal oils monthly. There's a monthly process which I'm going to teach, which I'm already teaching, but this was what the school will be teaching. This is why once upon a time we had seminaries. Okay, a doctor came from a university, a priest came from a seminary. What did he need to know about semen, I wonder, to become a priest? Well, because that's it. It's embedded in the scriptures. George Carey discovered it. Others discovered it. They discovered this story embedded in the Bible, how you can raise the chrism. So we'll learn that through Kundalini meditation. Danny does that. He does that 7-minute meditation. Many things. We're going to be doing entheogens, whether it's ayahuasca, iboga, San Pedro, peyote, mushrooms. We'll have all of those. We've got all the people around here ready to implement those according to the wishes of the people who come to the academy. So entheogens will be part of both branches, really. But what you will be learning is etymology. You're going to understand how to understand all words. All words come from 3 words. Atum, bowl, and tor, torus field, torsion fields. All words in every language in the universe. I've proven it. I've got all the presentations to release. I've already done it. I've been proving this for 8 years in my presentations. When you watch my All is Atum presentations, you will see that all words come from Bol, Tor, and Atum. And you'll be learning this most ancient language. This is why we call etymology, because if you want to study the real meaning and truth of a word, you will know that all words are atomic, and originally we had one etymological language, and everyone understood etymology. You're going to learn about sonoluminescence, which is magnetism, which is God, sound and light. Sonoluminescence. You're going to learn about the pulse wave universe. It's not a particle wave universe. Thank you, Walter Russell. Particles do not exist. They are just different rates of frequency, of energy. There is only energy, frequency, and vibration. Thank you, Tesla. I've also done presentations on this that you can see on YouTube. It's a radiation and vibration world. There are 2 kinds of waves. We're going to be understanding this in the school where no one else really teaches. There's a magnetic radiation wave. These are called scalar waves. John Mawelsky, the great magnetrician, he would say that this is the spiritual energy of the universe. The transverse wave which it generates is the material physical wave of the universe. It is redshift, blueshift. It's wave amplitude, wavelength. This is electricity. This is magnetism. The cross, magnetism. The vertical, electricity. Or you can do it the other way around. It doesn't matter. But that's what it's telling you. It's an electromagnetic world. Electricity is a hybrid. It depends on its mother, as Jesus did to his Holy Mother Mary as a little baby, because that's what they're talking about. See, the Virgin is magnetism. She's pure. She doesn't suffer a transverse decay. It's a hybrid. Electricity can only exist if there is magnetism. Otherwise, electricity just does not exist. It is the mother and the father is dielectricity, black light. White light is magnetic light. So we're going to understand that there are radiation waves and there are vibration waves. The vibrations are inferior to, vibration is inferior to radiation. But they both produce similar poles of effect. That's how it works. So we're going to understand the true nature, electromagnetic nature of the universe, like no other school in the history of history. So the pulse is Adam and the Eve is the wave. That's why Eve is evil, because it waves, it vibrates. Vibrating means, vibration comes from the root vibora, a serpent in Latin. The serpent that seduced Eve, that's the vibration. They are one and the same. Vibora, vibration. Viper. We say a serpent is a viper. It has the same root as vibration. It's the serpent that seduced Eve. Adam is radiation, the pulse. Ra, the sun god. Radiation. Eve is vibration. Together they make the couple. The couple, our parents who are in heaven. Because without radiation and vibration, we can't be Adam's children. And we're all Adam's children because Adam means atom and we all have anatomies. So we are all the sons of Atom. Every one of us, sons and daughters of Atom. So this is the sort of stuff that you'll only get in this academy. Astrotheology, astrology, theology, the three pillars of high magic. Sonoluminescence. So that's it. And sovereignty. I think I forgot. Did I mention that? We're going to be teaching about sovereignty. And so what that will be is we'll go deep into the field of law and how we can disentangle ourselves from legal adhesion contracts that we didn't know. This is a very important part of the ascension process. You know, we have to return back to the laws of God, the laws of nature. So sovereignty will teach you how to be self-determined. It will also be part of the ascension process. So there's so much more to say, man. I mean, there's just, I could go on forever in detail about the great wisdom. I'm going to have speakers like Frank Chester. He doesn't know that yet, but Frank Chester, Ken Wheeler, Marco Rodin. Marco Rodin's just reached out to me recently. He wants to do something together, perhaps, you know, talk about how syncretism fits in with his, and I know exactly how it fits in with his 9 numbers. They're actually 12 numbers, and it's astrological. So yeah, probably I can help him with a bit of astrology to understand the universe better. Huh? Yep, okay, so, and so that's why we've got the GoFundMe up. Guys, both Danny and I have exhausted a lot of our funds and really stretch it to the limits. We've got people on our payroll here, you know, that we're paying weekly to help us get things moving and going and answering questions and organising all this so we can launch it by June the 21st. So the GoFundMe's there, it's on my site. I have a fourth 30-day ban on Facebook in a row, so I can't post this on Facebook, but if you go to the community page on Mr. Astrotheology YouTube channel, you'll see there the GoFundMe, and there you can be a part of this. Someone did ask, are you going to be able to, if you make a good contribution, are you going to be able to get some benefits from the school? Well, yes, of course. We'll have to work that out, but obviously, you know, that will be part of helping you help us. So,
Shooting questions your way.
okay.
All right. Somebody asked Santos, do you think the ice in Antarctica is the edges of the Earth? Verbatim too. So basically saying, is the ice wall? What do you think is the ice wall the edge of our planet?
Absolutely, of one system of this 25,000 mile circumference of the Earth system. Then beyond Antarctica, we do have maps, and we have historians and explorers that will tell us that there's more land that goes on. But yes, you don't fall off the edge of the flat Earth. You've got more chances of falling off the bottom of the Santa ball with the gravity theory than you have of falling off the edge of the Earth, because there is a 1 mile high wall of ice that goes right around the circumference of the Earth. And Captain Cook logged 69,000 miles of this 1 mile high wall of Antarctica. He went 69,000 miles and he recorded it right around, and he didn't end up where he started. So.
All right. Next question. Okay. I would really. Sorry. It says, why is there a Masonic G again? Can you explain that?
Gravity.
Okay.
Yeah, gravitation, not gravity, sorry. How could I blaspheme like that? Forget about Newton's gravity. This is Walter Russell's gravitation and radiation. That is gravitation, because gravitation goes back into the black worm. This is the black wormhole. This is the white wormhole. This is radiation coming out of here.
Well, if you can, just 1 second, because it leads into the next question. You can put it all together. Somebody writes, Santos, what about gravity? I just can't wrap my head around it. I think it's BS.
Of course it is.
There's
No gravity at all. There's dielectric acceleration, or dielectric voidance is what Ken Wheeler would call it, but still it doesn't work on a flat Earth. There's no such thing as just buoyancy and density. That's why we fall to the Earth, because my body is more dense than the medium which I'm in, which is air. If I go to water, then I start going like this. Water is more dense, so if I jump, it's a lot slower, right? But here, and I fall straight down. Simple. Buoyancy and density. If I was made of helium, I'd go straight through the roof.
Another flat Earth question. Why are the people prevented from exploring certain areas of the Earth?
Yeah, because then we would discover exactly that we live in the Big Apple. That's what we live in. We're gonna be exploring this true model. This is the tree, the bowl, the arbol in the middle of the Garden of Eden. This is the plane of inertia, or the planet of Eartha. Stan Tenen, in his video Dance of the Hebrew Alphabet, Part 1, shows how this apple opens up, and then he describes the flat Earth. He's a famous Jewish scholar. The Jews, the mystics, they know that the Earth is a flat horizontal plane in the middle of our big apple in which we live.
Some questions coming to me, so I'll stand right next to you. Somebody asked, how do you get fenbenzidol?
You can get it on eBay, you can get it on Amazon.
The pharmacia here too.
Yeah, here in Puerto Morelos, just at the
The
drugstore.
fenbendazole over here, it's a little difficult to get. Fenbendazole.
I know it is.
Specifically fenbendazole. Ivermectin is easily intatable. Here in Mexico, you'll be able to get it basically everywhere, and that's probably the best one to start out with. And valbazin is also possible to get out here. There's another question.
By the way, guys, there's so many therapies that we're going to have available and protocols that we just can't mention them.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm talking tens and tens. And we have curanderos, we have Mayan people who, he reckons he's had the best massage in his life the other day.
Ever.
It's a special Mayan tradition. We have these people coming to the retreats. You will receive these massages. You will receive all of the technology, all of the essential oils that you need, the cell salts. You'll be getting in the sun. Every day there is sunshine here. You're going to be living the experience from morning till night. Even in the evenings, we're going to have sound healing. We're going to have lectures from great people from all around the world. On the weekends, we're also going to go and see Chichen Itza. We're going to go and see Coba. We're going to go snorkeling, scuba diving.
So you're getting the Mexican experience for sure, the travel experience.
Am I on?
Oh, okay, there we go. Somebody asked also, pull it up. Somebody said, yeah, I just need to clarify this. I may have to just stick with essential water. Wouldn't drinking ocean water cause dehydration? I'm talking about tiny, tiny increments, the smallest amounts. Not even a gulp, right? These little sips, just like that, daily. That's all I was saying. The amount of minerals within this water is, go online right now and go read up exactly what the minerals seawater contains. You'll be blown away. Your thyroid function will increase by 3-fold, by the way. Your T3, T4 will go through the roof. Another question. This is to Santos and Daniel. How much will the tuition be for the academy? So, in regards to pricing, everything will be on our upcoming website. All right, we will break it all down for you guys. What it costs to come out here for 3 months, 2 months, or a month. Everything will be available on the website. Stay tuned for that on our IG. They're telling me to move back more. Can't see me, okay. All right, Santos, you could take this one. What about people with disabilities? How can you assist those with disabilities?
We're intending to have the healing centre on the first floor. So we're looking for places around here to rent. There's a nice one, but it's third floor. But people with handicaps and things like that will have, first floor staff and close to the beach. We'll be able to assist you with that. As I said,
as long as they notify us in advance, we could even prepare you somebody who's going to be with you, really, at all times to move you around if necessary. If you're wheelchair bound, for example, we will make sure that we get somebody that's going to assist you wherever you go. That's completely possible here.
this will be like a campus. So we'll have a Syncretism cafe up. We've already registered syncretismcafe.com, syncretismastrology.com, syncretismsociety.com, etc., etc., etc. So we've got, there'll be a cafe there doing Ayurvedic food on the cooked side and lots of raw stuff and smoothies and all good, power foods. That will be open all the time. That'll be there. There'll be always people like Javier, because people in fitness that will always be there to give you personalised help. And
you have personal physical trainers, so you'll always be able to get advice. Always. You have mentors like Santos and others that are going to be around you. You will always have advice coming from every which angle.
Yeah, just people will be flocking to, they already are, to fill in spots. I don't know how many hundreds of yoga teachers are standing in line. We got tens and tens of them. We've got people who do, all the entheogens, ayahuasca. We've got cambo, bufo. ¿Cómo? Sapo. Yeah, bufo. Yeah, sapo. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's probably the better word to use, sapo. But these are all entheogens. So we've got all of that covered.
We have a pretty controversial question that we will not be answering here, but if you are able to contact us directly, and so let me just. Santos, I hope you picked this question. A lot of people won't address this to avoid controversy, and we won't either on this live chat. But we do have a stance on it, by the way. I would really love to know, for lack of better terms, is it wrong / against God to be gay, lesbian, and what about everything revolving around the number 33? Okay, when it comes to that question that you asked, is it wrong to be gay or lesbian? Like I said, we won't address it over here on the live stream, but we do have a stance on that, and we could get into that in a later time. And what about everything revolving around the number 33, the underground tunnels, the Pentagon, etc.? That we can answer. He's talking about the pedophile rings and the underground tunnels, and the Pentagon and all that. You can take that. I think we can take that. Pedophile rings?
Yeah, I suppose.
They exist. right?
It is important. There's not something that we should shy away from talking, but it's not really along what we're providing here at this school. It's what the world's providing. We know that. We know about the pedophile rings. They're going down. They're being exposed. The entities who are the people traffickers. They're squabbling amongst each other and cutting each other's throats. They're gonna destroy themselves by themselves. Just leave them alone a little bit more. You'll see that they'll turn on each other, and we'll be free from these demons very, very soon. But I really don't. I do a lot of that. You know, I mean, I expose this all the time, so I'd rather not. This is a pretty long. It's going to be boring for some people if I just rehash stuff that we already talk about. But we just want to finish off with everything that we're going to provide, so that people have a clear. Because we've been inundated with inquiry. How do you join? And do I get this? And do I get that? And
I have another one. Is it 3 months long, Santos? How much is a 3 month stay? So yes, like I said before, we do have the 3 month retreat, which is the one that I think people should come to minimal, because you have to understand something, guys. The body and mind can't change within a week or two. It just doesn't happen. Anybody who tells you that you could ascend within a couple of weeks, they're lying to you. So 3 months seems to be that number where you would feel a really drastic change. I'm not saying you can't feel something incredible within 2. Being around Santos for an hour will change you, but you know, you have to look at it in the longer term. The knowledge that you go back home with, it takes time to acquire. It doesn't take a week or 2, and health doesn't take a week or 2 either. So how do I sign up?
Yeah.
Guys, give us just a little bit. Everything's going to be out on the website real soon. Just bear with us. We're going to have all the information. We rather measure 10 times than cut once, okay? So that's what we're doing. We're making sure that everything is in its proper place. Follow us on IG, Instagram, and stay updated with us. We're going to be doing this lives. Podcast. Guys, you're going to get so much information from this podcast that we're going to launch within, I'm guessing, no more than 2 weeks. Our engineer, Logan, is going to be over here. He's not only an engineer, he's a mentor. You guys are going to love him. He's going to be part of the academy and working within us, within the academy. You're going to be able to take your questions, and on this podcast, we're going to be able to interact with you guys more directly. But like I said, you want to support us, go to our description, go to our GoFundMe. We'll be able to make this a reality much, much faster. Copious amounts of money have been put into this academy. The machinery, the permaculture, the retreat, I mean, the amount of time and energy and funds that have went into this is right here, all right? So, guys, do what you can to help us. And the Skyo, we have questions for Skyo. Let's see where we're at with...
all right, let's go.
With Luigi. Luigi's in Zen mode. Look at his fingers. Luigi, you're zenning out over here.
Yes, I'm trying to open the mind.
As Louis,
What is your name?
Okay, somebody's asking the exact spelling of the machine.
SCIO.
Yeah, but I manage Educator. Educator is the big brother of Skyo. Okay, and it's the same medicine as you can see. The Skyo was the first one, the more famous maybe. After that came the Educator, that is this machine.
Mm-hmm.
After Eductor, and now there's a new one that is called QX. Okay,
QX.
but it's all based on the same physical medicine, you know, quantum medicine. Sorry.
Yep.
Somebody writes, once we receive the energy from the machine for healing, how often do we need to use the machine to continue our lifelong health? Or do we just use it once and we're done?
No, it depends on the person. It depends on what do you need to improve, because it's not the same if you have a cancer, for example, that if you have, for example, I don't know, a flu.
Yeah.
It's different. But for example, every patient I see, I always recommend to have one session per week or one session every 2 weeks to be to have a deep change in the body. Okay, I think it's 5 sessions is a good number to change completely in a way that you can feel it without problems. Okay.
Yeah, wonderful. Somebody, another question we forgot. Kids. Kids are absolutely welcome in the academy. We understand parents can't just leave their children behind and come to the retreat. So we do offer accommodations for children. Not only do we offer these physical place where to stay for the children, you'll first of all, you'll be living in a larger place because we understand you want to stick with your family and not be separated in rooms. But we also offer mentors and people who would be able to take your children out to the beach and do some of these same protocols. Obviously, not all of them, but there are many that that we could provide for the children as well, and that'll also all be in the website. What's that? Yeah. Oh, okay, guys. So some of you still don't know where we are. We are in Puerto Morelos, Mexico, which is 20 minutes away from Cancun. When you guys arrive here, we will have a driver picking you up and bringing you over here. You could be in that water literally in 30 minutes from your departure. From your arrival. So 30 minutes after you arrive, you could be in that water. All right. You could be starting the process. You could be meeting with Santos. You could be talking to our beautiful community over here. Everything could start right away. Anything else that I missed? Okay. I think we said a lot. We did a lot. So Luigi, what part are we on right now? Are we deeper right now into his analysis?
We're working in the brain because the mind problem that is thinking all the time. We saw some it's called thought patterns that he can have in an unconscious or in a conscious way, but we are working now to release that pattern that affect to Luigi in that case. And how do you feel? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel good?
I feel relaxed. Yeah, I feel like a bit high.
Okay. It's not a drug at all.
Speaking of which, some people also asked about this. Guys, there's absolutely no drinking here, right? Oh, yeah. There's no alcohol. We don't use any drugs. It's very clean over here. So if you guys thinking that this is one of those retreats where you could come healed but also get whacked, that's not how it works. And matter of fact, it's probably the left-hand path. You shouldn't be drinking. That's why they call it spirits, just for everybody to know. When you drink alcohol and when you take drugs, what ends up happening to the body is you go into a very, very, very low vibration and frequency. Right? God created us with our vibration and frequency moves so fast that these other entities can't penetrate through us. So when you drink and when you take drugs, what ends up happening is that vibration slows so it goes to such a slow pace that anything is able to penetrate you. That's why most people that are drinking and doing drugs end up where? Dead, jail, whatever it is, right? Always negative. So yes, there's absolutely no drinking at the retreats. You will not be meeting any alcoholics in the retreats if you guys are worried about things like that. It is a very, 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 very clean retreat. And I think we said a lot, right? We're on hour 2, right, guys? Yeah. So I think it's time for you to sign everybody out, Santos.
Alrighty.
Okay, take the mic. Talk about this full moon a little bit because people want to know about the 26th, the Aztecs.
Okay, so
We'll end it up over there.
I believe it's not the start of the 6th sun, but the end of the 5th sun. That's today, the 26th of May. So that's it. An era has closed today. So there'll be a cusp, and I believe, according to the article I read today, that the 6th sun will begin in 2026, if I'm not wrong. So look into that, and probably if someone discovers the true date, put it in the comments and share it with us.
Wonderful.
All right. So
Let's say goodbye, guys, right?
Yep. All right.
Bye-bye, everybody say. Bye. Bye. All right.